What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of MMA Productions. I just got done watching UFC 329. Um, One of the crazier cards of the year, man. That was wild. Whole lot of crazy stuff going on. I did really well. I went 12-2. Put some quotes on that. I was gonna be right anyway about one of them. So let's get right into it. Starting off our card, we had Alessandro Costa taking on Cody Durden at flyweight. Yeah, Costa looked good. Close first round. Costa needs to be more active. He would go in and he would throw these big winging hooks that are damn near taking himself off his feet. He did all right. He was hurting Durden here and there, hitting to the body. Loki lost the first round. No, he was hitting the bigger shots. I'd give him the first round. Looked good. Getting to round two, he trips Durden. Kind of just beats him up a little bit, transitions to the back, gets a mean rear naked in, and gets the finish in round two. I said round two finish. I didn't think it'd be a submission, but still got the pick right overall, at least. So that's a good start to the card. Yeah, Alessandro Costa looked good. I'm going to be matchmaking the winners on the prelims and early prelims, and I'm going to be matching the winners and the losers on the main card. So we got a long video ahead of us. I'm going to give Alessandro Costa Tim Elliott. He's on a pretty big win streak, Costa here. He's done a lot of fights lately this year. I think he's 3 this year and won all 3 in like 98 days or something ridiculous, I heard. I kind of bounced between the meta and the media rankings on this one because I think the meta rankings are what the UFC is going to use, or what they've been using. But the media rankings are better in a few places. I don't know if Tim Elliott should still be ranked or not, but I want to give him a shot at kind of the rankings or getting up toward that kind of number. He's done a lot. I think this is an interesting matchup. Tim Elliott still has it in him. You got Kai Sakura, so did well against Steve Versailles, so I'm interested to see where that goes. Getting into our next fight, yet again, as predicted, Ryan Gondra. Gondra looked sloppy, left some big openings. Reese was kicking pretty well. He was doing what I said he would. He's going for the open stance, body kicks and stuff. Gondra kind of feints to the right, or dips to the right, feints something, and then throws a big left over. Just knocks down Reese, gets some ground and pound, maybe an early stoppage, but Reese went down pretty hard. Good performance from Gondra. I still don't know how good he actually is. This is one of those ones where I'm like, oh, whatever. So I'm going to give him a pretty big step up in competition here with all his round one finishes, and I'm going to give him Mansour Abdul Malik. This might be too big of a jump, and it might be too big of a drop for Mansour. I need to slow down how fast I'm talking. But, yeah, this card was so crazy. This is a really good card. I'd say it was the card of the year so far. Yeah, Gondra looked good out there, though. I don't know how good Zachary Reese is. It's kind of whatever. But I'm going to give him Mansour Abdul Malik. We'll see if these guys are really worth our while. Getting into our next fight, Farid Basharat barely squeaks it out over John Garza. I'm not going to lie. Part of me felt like Garza won this fight. He was doing the bigger shots with the bigger damage. But getting into it, round one, Basharat's throwing some kicks, gets some control time, but Garza lands some pretty big shots and is applying a lot of pressure. Round two definitely was Garza's round. I think the judges give 30-27 for Basharat, or 2 of them did. That's ridiculous. Garza definitely got round 2. Continues to land pressure, a lot of pressure, some big shots to the body and head. I think he hurt him to the body once. Basharat kind of did a good job playing it off, but I'm pretty sure he did. Showed incredible takedown defense in this fight, Garza did. That was really good. Round 3, kind of same stuff. Basharat cannot take this man down until the very end. I think he's praying for like a leg kick TKO or something. He did kind of hurt him with the leg kicks eventually. He did not make a statement. He needed to go out there and make a statement with his contract on the line, and it didn't. And I digress. But Garza looked really good. I want to give Garza more fights. He's an exciting prospect. He took this fight on short notice. I think he'd win. I think we got ourselves almost a little Ethan Ewing-y situation on our hands. And speaking of Ethan Ewing, Basharat, you hear that? That's the saxophones getting louder, baby. They're coming. Your time has come. He's here. Ethan Ewing would have killed this man tonight. He would have sent this man home on a stretcher. Similar takedown defense. Ethan Ewing probably has better boxing. He would have destroyed this man. Garza almost got him on like a week's notice. I can't even imagine what Ewing would have done here. You know, Basharat was talking to him, oh, I had a torn ACL and MCL. You saw me limping. No, we didn't, dude. No one saw you limping. You're fighting for your contract, and that's what you do. Barely win against a short notice guy. Garza's a dog, but like, man, bad look for Basharat. Ethan Ewing would have actually killed this man. It would have been catastrophic for this man's life. Both Bosherop brothers would have been gone. He would have had to retire for his own health after what Ewing would have done to him. That's right, baby. It's time. Ethan Ewing's gonna get that. O must go. Like I said, it's not his destiny to lose to Garza. That's why he low key won a very close fight. It's this man right here. I'm pointing at him. You can't tell. Time's coming, buddy. Getting into our next fight, Damian Pinos absolutely annihilates Cesar Almeida. Pinos starts a little bit slow. This man is who Ateba Gautier, people think Ateba Gautier is. He would destroy Ateba. He's got that kind of longer, lanky power. This is who people think Ateba is. He would kill him. I'm going to keep it real. Truth nuke. You'd kill him. Really slow start, kind of throwing leg kicks back and forth. Damian goes for a trip for some reason. Caesar reverses it, controls him against the cage. Ditches that when he realizes Damian's too strong for him. I was literally talking to my dad right before it happened. I was like, I don't know why Damian's not doing anything here. Like, I know he's waiting for an opening and everything. But, he only needs a 1-2. And I specifically said, not even a 1-2. He just needs a 2. A minute later, he hits the 2, and Cesar Almeida's just off his feet, absolutely brutal KO. I really like what Damian did here. He was really cool about this. He knew Cesar was done. He did this immediately. He knew it was a walk-off. He waited for the ref to come over. Excellent control by Damian Pinos. I really like that. He knows that he has a lot of power. He knows what's in his hands, and he knows he can hurt people. And he didn't. He chose not to here. He got a clean finish, and he moved on. Excellent call out. I didn't have to think of any matchmaking for him. Baisangor Sakaev. I think the winner gets a shot at the rankings. I think he destroys Baisangor. I think he destroys Ateba. He might beat Bo Nickel. There's a lot of people this guy beats right now, I'm pretty sure. That's a lot of mean power. It's that lanky, comically long reach. I really like Damian. He's really cool. Another crazy fight, man. A lot of finishes on this card. Next fight. I liked this fight. I really like Wong Tong. Win is pretty much how I said. Cortez just doing the classic WMMA shadow boxing at range, whiffing everything. Wong just throwing some leg kicks, stinging her with punches and counters. Wong's just piecing her up, man. She defends a couple takedown attempts. I think Tracy got one in there. Just gets absolutely destroyed. Round 2, Tracy comes out crazy again, fails a takedown. Kong punishes her. Or Tong, sorry. Wong Tong continues to hit mean counters and leg kicks. Throws an illegal knee to Tracy's head when she's against the cage. Joe Rogan, DC, and John Anik were like, oh my god, that's clearly illegal. That's ridiculous. I watched it. And then the Matt Herzog or whatever takes a point. They're like, that's the move. This barely connected with her head. Clearly didn't do anything. Wong Tong, but damn, you pulled it back while Tracy Cortez blocked it. Did nothing. I've seen fights where there's like 10 different fouls committed within the same one, and they still do nothing. I mean, it was ridiculous, man. Round 3, same shit. Wong Tong... Ooh, spoilers there. Wong Tong finally makes her switch stances like she has done to pretty much every opponent. Wong Tong's really good, man. I'm going to give her Rose Namajunas. She wanted a title shot. Let's cool it a little bit. Natalia Silva's in line. And then we give her Rose Namajunas if she wins this because Namajunas is rumored to be fighting... No, not Namajunas. I think Natalia Silva, I saw a rumor that she's supposed to fight Shevchenko soon. I think that's a good fight. I think Wong Tong... That sounds wrong. I hate that spelling. I think we give her Rose Namajunas, former champ, solid fighter, pretty well-rounded. Give her that, see how good she is at striking, and a title shot. I think I like that path. And Valentina's just going to lie on her for 25 minutes like she did against Zhang Wei Li. Except Tracy Cortez is big enough to fight back, so I'm interested to see where Wong Tong goes. I like her a lot. She's fun. She's sick. Yeah, almost zero threat from Cortez there. Cortez is a fraud. Getting into our next fight, I was talking about, dude, I low-key want to pick Luke Riley. I low-key want to pick Kai Kamaka, man. Kai Kamaka's a sleeper, dog. I'm an idiot. I still picked Luke Riley, thank God. At the start, they're kind of just trading kicks back and forth. Riley's leg was fucking like marooned by the end of that round, man. That was crazy. I don't know if it's just because he's a pale little English boy. That's probably, I'm not going to say that. He'd kick my ass. I don't know if it's just because he's an English guy. He's probably just, gets beat up pretty easy. But he looked really good out there, really fast. Kai Kamaka looked solid, honestly. He was doing well for a while. Luke Riley just hits a mean 2 right down the pipe, puts him down, hits an uppercut while Kamaka's on the way up, starts teeing up on him against the cage. People called it an early stoppage. Kai Kamaka was rope-a-doping on the cage. Luke Riley was hitting every single shot. Elbows, knees up the middle, hooks, uppercuts. Kai Kamaka tries to clench up desperately. A ref ends it. I think that's a fine stoppage, saving Kai Kamaka's life. I'm going to give Luke Riley Patricio Pitbull. I was thinking about giving him the Dan Ige test. I think he's above that. I think Pitbull's a little bit better. Get him this fight, then maybe get him in the rankings. I think it's a little early for the rankings. I don't like him having only 3 UFC fights before getting a ranked fight, personally. Maybe I'm probably going to be hypocritical about that in this video, but I just want to give him a bit of a test like that. Pitbull's pretty good. Lost to Yair, not even that badly to Yair. Beat Dan Ige. That's a really solid win. I like to see where that would go. Getting into the next fight, Adrian Yanez absolutely decimates Cody Garbrandt. Cody Garbrandt came out looking good. I thought he was going to get Yanez. He's just throwing a bunch of shit. Yanez avoids most of it. A couple 50-50 exchanges where Yanez clearly gets the better. Yanez hurts him with a right hand and then just hits him with another hook, I think. Vicious round 1 KO. Spins him around pretty much. Face plants Cody. Cody's done. I think he took off his gloves in the cage. Sad way to go out. They didn't even give him a full retirement thing. I don't know if he said he was going to retire. He doesn't have he shouldn't get a retirement video. I know he's a former champ, but I felt bad. I did. It's got to suck to be him. Just a different era of bantamweight, man. Yeah, but Yanez looked good out there. I'm going to give him Montel Jackson. Maybe give him a little bit of a shot at the rankings. I think that's a fair assessment to make. I'm going really fast. I could probably slow down a bit, chill out. But yeah, I like this fight. Give Yanez a chance at the rankings. Montel Jackson, his liver is failing in that picture. I don't know why his eyes are yellow. But yeah, this is an interesting fight. I don't know what else to do with Yanez. Maybe like a Figgy if you want to. Figgy might be a little bit higher ranked, too high ranked. But Cody's only like 2 fights removed from Figgy, and this guy lost to Figgy. I think that's a fair fight to make. Getting into our next fight. Why am I going so fast? I feel like there's not much to talk about. Most of these fights are pretty one-sided. Dable Stevenson is not as good as people say he was. Abel looks like bad early, I think, kind of just throwing stuff. He landed a lot of clean, big shots that I think Hokit could have knocked somebody out with if I'm going to keep it real. Hokit would decimate this man. I'm going to keep it so real. Hokit would kill this man. I think he'd wrestle him. I think he'd beat him up. This guy might have a little bit more power than Hokit on the feet, but Hokit's so much faster on the feet, and he's bigger. I mean, he was getting elbowed in the clinch, and it clearly hurt him a couple times. This guy, Elisha Ellison, Snack Panther, defended one of his takedowns. Gable just did not look nearly as good as I expect him to look. He looked better than most heavyweights. He looked a lot better than Elisha Ellison tonight. But, he's clearly getting hurt, clearly sloppy. Landed big shots that I was like, that should knock him out. It's a heavyweight, and then it didn't. I mean, there was exchanges. I saw a comment that was like, if he got into these exchanges with Tai Tuivasa, he would have gotten knocked out. I'm not saying he'd lose the tie. He'd just wrestle Tai. But, I mean, the fact that he got a takedown defended. Elisha quit to nothing. Like, he was getting beat up on the cage, but I swear nothing hit him when he went down. And then Gable Stevenson pulls his signature move. I saw a comment on signature move of jumping on an unconscious person. He got a groin shot, so he cheated. The real John Jones special there. I hate this guy so much. I'm gonna give him Marcin Tybura. We're gonna give him that test. He'll probably blow through Tybura, but Tybura might be able to wrestle him, man. Tybura's a sleeper, and I want to see him at least be 5-0 before he gets shot at the rankings. I thought Josh Hokit didn't even have enough fights when he got into the UFC. I know it's heavyweight and they're entertaining, but 5-0 is like 3-0 being on a prelims, not even the early prelims, is disgusting privilege. I'm actually sickened that this guy's even in the UFC. Do you have any idea how guilty you have to be for them to change a law after you do something? I don't give a shit about ex post facto. This guy should be in prison, like federally. It's ridiculous. I don't know. It's disappointing, man. I don't want to say the word here, but I really just Gable's. Getting into our next fight, man, Whitaker looked good. Had me a little bit worried that first round. Whitaker starts off. They're both kind of getting good hits on each other. Krylov is mostly trying to get him in the cage, get him in a clinch against the cage successfully. Low-key, I gave the first round to Krylov. He seemed to kind of sting Whitaker here and there. Controlled him pretty well against the cage. I'm a little bit nervous. Clearly, Whitaker had the advantage on the feet. He looked good. Rogan was calling him fat, and people were mad at that. This was not a good light heavyweight bulk. I'm gonna keep it real. I kind of agree with Joe Rogan on that for once. I don't think this was the greatest bulk to heavyweight or light heavyweight. I'd like to see him maybe slim down a little bit more, get more muscle or something. But he looked good out there. He was fast, clearly the better boxer, clearly had good power. I think he broke Nikita Krylov's jaw in round 3, which is got his get back on the world, I guess, man. That was a good one. Got his get back against these Eastern European guys with that broken jaw. He looked good out there, really solid boxing. Krylov's not the best opponent, so I'm gonna give him a pretty big step up. This is kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of cracked myself up with this. I'm gonna give him Azamat. Let's give Azamat another middleweight. Let's give him another chance to prove that light heavyweight isn't totally fraud buster. I think this is fighting pretty far up from Krylov. I think Azamat's a lot better than Krylov is. You could also maybe give him the winner of like a Jan. My God. Give him maybe like the winner of Jan Blachowicz Guskov. I think that fight's still happening eventually, or maybe like a Jan Blachowicz or Guskov. I don't really care which, just one of them eventually. This is a fight. That's a fight that could happen. I know Jan's old, but I just imagine Jan and Bogdan Guskov blowing through for Whitaker. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but Whitaker might be a beast. I don't know. This has me. Krylov's not the best comp, but between Paulo Costa and this, wherever Paulo Costa goes, I'm getting to a point where I think Sean Strickland could be a two-weight world champ. I'm gonna keep it so real. I'm getting to a point where, if, like, let's say Sean beats Imavov again, maybe I'd say he probably will beat DDP in a rematch, moves up. I think Sean could be a two-weight world champ. Light heavyweight's garbage, man. He's in the middleweights. Robert Whitaker was a small middleweight. He could have cut to welter. He's the same height as Max Holloway, who was a featherweight. Man, light heavyweight's just not good. Khalil Roundtree is as high up as he is. I think he's gonna get destroyed by Ankalaev. I'm not gonna make that video. But yeah. Yeah, Whitaker looked good out there. I'm gonna give him Azamat. Man, I'm blowing through these really quick. This is gonna be like a 20-minute video. I guess prediction video is gonna be longer. Terrence McKinney versus Bobby Green. Crazy fight. Not as crazy as I expected it to be. I was kind of Green's avoiding a lot of hits early on. Terrence McKinney's kind of just swinging, but Bobby's kind of weaving most of them, ducking a lot, kind of getting like head to stomach with Terrence on a lot of them. Terrence cut him pretty bad. I don't think it was as bad as a cut. I think just the movement and like rubbing things around kind of made it look worse than it was. That happens a lot in MMA. Terrence takes him down, takes Green's back. There for a while. Green's landing some good stuff. McKinney's chasing some subs, doesn't get him. Green gets out. Hits him with some stuff against the cage. McKinney quit, man. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, people were complaining about the stoppage. I would have let it go to the next round personally if I was the ref. I'm not a ref, so whatever. But McKinney quit, and there's no other way to put it. I think he didn't even really get hit by anything. He just gassed out and died. McKinney, I don't even know if he's talented, man. I'm gonna keep it a $150 with you. Green looked good though. Another big win for Green. I'm gonna give him Chris Duncan. I think this is an interesting fight. I think the winner of this maybe gets another shot at the rankings. Give Chris Duncan a little bit of a test. They both beat Terrence McKinney. Duncan just lost to Moicano, I believe. Yeah, Moicano. I think this would be an interesting fight. Winner maybe gets another shot at the rankings. We might see a re-ranked Bobby Green or something. I think that'd be fun. And since we're in the main card, I'm going to be matchmaking the losers as well. I'm going to be giving Terrence McKinney Ignacio Bahamondes. Bahamondes coming off a loss to one of the biggest cheaters I've ever seen in Tafik Musayev. Skilled all around. I think this would be an interesting fight. I almost gave Bobby Green Manuel Torres, but that seemed mean. Yeah, I think this is an interesting fight. I'd like this kind of skill versus... I like this fight because this would be a test of, is Terrence McKinney just ass? Not that losing to Bahamondes makes you bad, but like Bahamondes is good enough to where it's like, all right, if you lose to him, man, I know you're not really, you know what I mean? It's like you're not at that level. And I think this would be an almost important fight to make because Terrence McKinney, I get it, he has a short fight time, he's fun and everything, but he did quit against Chris Duncan too. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, if you watch that fight, he just kind of folds. He'd whip my ass, obviously. I'm gonna keep it real. He would beat my ass, but just quit today. He didn't really get hit with anything crazy. I just noticed that's Goku on his arm. It's not as bad as Quinones's, but getting into the next fight, Loner Kavanaugh. This one hurt a lot more than it did. Round one, pretty close. Royval kind of just piecing him up with the jab, some leg kicks back and forth. That jab was really getting Loner, man. Loner's throwing these naked body kicks that Brandon catches easily and then throws some hooks on him. Loner starts getting the better of the exchanges later in the round. Brandon gets a takedown, lands some elbows. Royval just kind of controlled the round with range and grappling and stuff. It was not super competitive. Round two, the jab starts coming out from Royval again. Loner gets a big knockdown, gets some big ground and pound. I think he should have let him up, if I'm being honest. But Royval recovered and got some takedowns, and Loner got some good work in the clinch with like elbows and stuff. Round 3, Loner jumped like 6 gillies. I don't know what it is with these professional MMA fighters and having low fight IQ. I'm not saying I would do better out there. Put me in their bodies with their experience. Like, put my just I no, I wouldn't. That's ridiculous to say. But they just make ridiculous decisions, which we'll get into in a minute. We'll get into that in a minute, BSD. I'm seething. I was. Loner just keeps jumping to Gilly and putting himself on his back. I don't get it, man. You're not Charles. You're not Gilbert Burns. You're not. There's not even that many people that can do it, man. Just stop jumping Gillies. It doesn't work. I think that's part of why he lost this fight. He kept putting himself on his ass. Should have tried to defend the takedowns a little bit more. Round 3, jumps his 50th Gilly. Loner gets rocked by Royval early. Loner rocks him back. Royval goes for a takedown. Loner jumps the Gilly like an idiot. Royval goes for head and arm choke, almost gets it. And then transitions to the back and gets an RNC. I don't know, man. I'm really disappointed. That one hurt a lot more than I thought it did. I like Loner. I didn't realize how much I like Loner. Brandon Royval is kind of done to me. I don't think he's really getting a title shot. He's going to be, what, like a top 3? Top 3, top 5 gatekeeper? I don't know. Like, it's just a weird position for me to imagine a fighter in. He's good. Don't get it twisted. I think there's an all-time flyweight conversation he's going to start fitting his way into. Not like a top 5 or anything like that. It's not be ridiculous. But, like, best non-champ flyweight, one of the best people to not get a belt, I think. I don't think he's had a belt. I mean, he might be one of the best to never get a belt. It's starting to be a discussion that needs to be had. I'm going to really test that. I'm going to give him Asu Almabayev. I really like that call out. I think Brandon Royval is like the perfect guy. Like, you beat him, you get a title shot. That's one of the perfect ones, unless you're caught for some reason. But he's coming off a win again. Because, you know, if he loses one guy, that guy gets another fight, title shot, whatever. Like with Van, and then I don't know, it's weird. He called out Asu Almabayev. I really like that. Last week I gave Asu Kyoji Horiguchi, but I'm going to be giving Kyoji Horiguchi to Loner Kavanaugh. This would be a sick fight. I think this would be awesome. I want it to be 5 rounds. It probably won't. But yeah, this is a sick fight. I think it's another good test for Loner. I don't know, Loner sold that fight, man. He looked good when he looked good, but I think he just dropped the bag with the Gilly jumping. Submitted in round 3. I was so close. I was 10 fights in a row that I was right, and my sister was like, "Why didn't you put money on this?" And then my dad pulls it up. I would have made like $1,000 if I bet 10, bro. Like, I know the odds were a little bit different here and there, but my dad said if it was like minus 110 the whole way, it would have been 7,000. So I'm probably assuming I would have made like close to 1,000 if I had a $10 parlay, 10 in a row, man. And then that's a rough one. Bautista gets it done. It wasn't a robbery. Stop whining. Bautista won round 2. It was close, but I mean, as a whole, I think, I know we don't judge fights as a whole and we judge by a round, but as a whole, Bautista definitely did more to win this fight and was closer to finishing it. Early on, Corey's hitting him, Mario, with some big shots and rocks him with a right hand. Mario keeps failing takedown attempts. Mario finally breaks out of the clinch, starts hitting some good shots, hits some good like duck unders and left and right, hits some good shots here and there. Mario finally gets a takedown in defense, barely fails a Salayev stretch, but I think he messed up Corey Sandhagen's knee or something, because afterward he got him in a leg lock too or whatever. You see Corey kind of limp away. Start of round 2, Corey comes out and he's like big limp. Mario's getting the better of the round barely. He's just not doing enough. I think he should have done more. He doesn't throw power shots. It's weird. It's like nothing he does has any oomph behind it. It's like he doesn't want to hurt somebody. If he throws some oomph behind those, he's muscular, he's fast. I think he could do some damage. I think he barely squeaks out the round. I gave him round 2, barely. Closer than it should be for a guy on one leg, which is why I'm giving Mario who I'm giving him. Round 3, Mario drops him, gets some ground and pound, hits him with spamming takedowns that don't really go anywhere, but you got to do what you got to do. Corey's better on the feet. I'm not acting like Corey's not elite on the feet. I got to stop doing that. Corey is elite on the feet. He's probably one of the best in the division. Maybe top 3 on the feet. Say like Jan, O'Malley, him, probably the top 3. But yeah, Mario won. He looked good. I was hating in the moment. I was really angry for not beating a guy on one leg. I was having flashbacks to Yuri Olberg. My mom brought it up and I asked her to not. But yeah, I'm going to be giving Mario Sangdong, regardless of whether or not he loses to Umar. Or beats Umar. Win or lose against Umar, I'm giving him Sangdong. I know this is like future matchmaking or whatever, but I like this fight. Give Mario another test of an elite guy. I know Corey beat Song, but I think we need to see more from Mario after that fight. It was way too close for me to like want to give Mario a title shot. Plus, there's a line. You got Marab, Sean, Umar. Like, there's three dudes that are in title that should be getting a title shot before you. You got a long line, buddy. You might have to take a few fights before that. I'm gonna give Corey David Martinez. I was laughing really hard when I looked up because David Martinez on the come up, Corey on a bit of a L streak, two losses, but his only recent win is Figgy. I'm not gonna lie, I was losing my shit when I looked up David Martinez because the guy from Cyberpunk came up, and I was just thinking all like Corey hitting some crazy like knockout on him, like finally bringing it back, and it was just like the you don't want yourself to go. Just like, oh man, I can't believe I'm tweaking. I gotta stop. But yeah, this is a solid fight. I think this is the worst fight on the card. But by the way, these two were fight of the night by far. I think great 3-round fight, low key Hall of Fame fight. Royval's a dog. I gotta talk about that. I didn't talk about it in a moment. I have a lot of talking points that I probably forgot to get to. But yeah, no, I love Royval. He's sick, man. He gets sick fights. This is low key a Hall of Fame fight. Definitely fight of the night. Yeah. Benoit Saint Denis. He made me look like an idiot, man. He really did make me look like a moron in front of my family. I picked him to win by decision. I'm not gonna lie. I even regretted it. I've been regretting it as soon as I posted the video. You know, God's whole card was just insane. This is like a historic card and not always in a good way. Patty's a superstar, man. Patty the baddie. Everyone's cheering him for him on the walkout. BSD walks out and gets booed despite having a 100% finish rate. And then he just... I was regretting... I don't know. Patty had aura and made me regret my BSD pick, and people were talking about it all week. I thought BSD would be smart enough to not shoot a takedown in the first 30 seconds of a fight against a guy whose best thing is when you take him down and he gets submissions on you. That's the only time he gets submissions. That's when he's at his best. They're equally sloppy on the feet. Patty might take advantage of his range better, but BSD has way more power. He could have at least tried to stay on the feet for a minute, but no. He's going to make the lowest IQ decision possible and shoot a takedown in the first 30 seconds and get put in a darce and make me look like a moron. Like, what are we doing? I don't get these fighters. That's a stupid decision. It's the one good thing. It's the one thing Patty's really, really good at. He's whatever on the feet. He's good on the feet, but he's not world class. Patty's not world class, or BSD's not world class on the feet either. But he might have been able to do some damage to Patty at least. He has big power. He has weird shots that he wouldn't have been expecting. But no, he shoots a takedown in the first 30 seconds in the most obvious way possible with his idiotic head down, double arms out, sprayed like a bird, and gets immediately put in a darce. One of the tightest darces I've ever seen, to be fair. But it's just like, these fighters are so stupid. So many of them are. Yuri losing to Olberg, moron. Anyone pulling guard, moron. What are we doing? Ilya going for submissions on Justin Gaethje. I think it was Sean O'Malley said Ilya could have walked off after hurting Justin Gaethje. The liver, it would have been a finish. You don't let him up. Ilya going for submissions on Gaethje. Moron. These world-class fighters are just idiots. I'm not saying BSD would have won this fight, but why are we going for a takedown in the first 30 seconds against a guy whose whole speciality is when you shoot a takedown on him or get a takedown, he transitions right into a submission? I know that's part of BSD's game. At least try to stay on the feet, man. It just infuriates me, man. I'm passionate about the sport. I like the sport. I like the art parts of it. I like the high IQ. I like the techniques of it. This guy just makes stupid decisions. I don't like low fight IQ. I love Steven Asplund, but when he's sitting there watching Vitor Petrino just walk away around the cage and not doing anything about it, I get angry. When I see stuff like this, I get angry. I need to make a video about low IQ fighters and why it makes the sport miserable for me. Because it's just stupid. We could have had a long, fun war. And it was cool. Don't get me wrong. Patty looked great. Patty proved that if you try to take him down, you're not going to be able to. Patty is great at that. I'll give him that. But it's just like... It just infuriates me, dude. I don't get these people. I don't get it. You make these stupid decisions. You didn't even, like, I saw people saying Patty would hurt him and then submit him. That was fine. I had BSD winning still. But you just make Dumb decisions. I gotta get away from this. I was so much angrier in the moment. I was like yelling with my family and parents in the room, bro. Like my sister's boyfriend was here, and I'm like yelling. It's just like it's the one thing you needed to not do to get finished early was shoot a takedown. Hurt him, then get a takedown or something. But you just I digress. Um, I'm gonna get a little 2-for-1 here on Patty. I'm gonna give Patty Max Holloway. I don't want Max to take another welterweight fight. It's just cursed. I mean, who's he supposed to fight? I'm not waiting for Connor. Connor's done. We'll get into that in a minute. Patty said he'd take on anyone. I think Max Holloway is a good matchup for him. Uh, really test him on the feet. Max beat Gaethje. I think that'll really determine whether or not Patty's ready for another shot at Gaethje or like an Oliveira even. I'm interested to see where him and Oliveira would go now because of that BJJ. But I think this is a good matchup to make now, especially both bad men, maybe main event of a fight night. This has to be 5 rounds. But yeah, good performance from Patty. BSD, I'm gonna give him the winner of Mateus Gamrot versus Quinlan Salkeld. Um, I think this is a good matchup for either Quinlan Salkeld to really start looking at a top 5 spot. Like winner of this fight's Benoit Saint-Denis, then maybe he starts looking at a top 5 fight. I think it'd be an interesting fight either way. I am excited for that fight also. That's an interesting one. Um, yeah, horrible performance from BSD. I don't know what he was doing out there. I need to cool off for a minute. Um, you know, I remember watching Aspinall. Just, I think I blew a couple of neurons in my brain. I think a couple of bombs just went off in my head with that BSD rant. Um, I remember Aspinall gone. That's one of the I haven't been watching MMA super long. I'm gonna keep it real. A little truth nuke. I wasn't around for McGregor. I didn't care that much. The MMA casuals were infuriating me. Oh, dude, McGregor's gonna take his head off in round 1, man. Shut up. Max was always gonna win this fight. It was gonna probably be round 4 TKO. McGregor's been done. He looked done. He looked so washed with that mohawk coming out, man. His walkout, he looked stiff. He didn't look like he was ready to be there. Just looked old. He is old. I get it. I know McGregor was important for the sport and everything, but that time's gone, man. I think Max Holloway is higher all time. Max improved a lot more since their last fight. Max was always going to win this fight. It was his destiny. McGregor, my uncle said it right. McGregor was done before this fight started. Um, he almost looked injured before he even went in. Max Holloway wins by round 1 TKO. McGregor comes out throwing a jumping roundhouse, lands weird on his knee, blows it out. Max immediately is like, ref, it's done. McGregor throws another kick for some reason instead of trying to box. Can't do it. Um, yeah, I still remember like Aspinall and Cyril gone like it was yesterday. That was like a 9/11 for me as an MMA fan getting into the sport around UFC 300, which is why I'm such a big fan of Max. Um, man, this is just one of the biggest disappointments I've ever seen in the sport, man. I know like I didn't care that much about McGregor. I was ready for him to lose, but I get it, man. I feel bad for McGregor. He looked so washed out there. He looked disappointed in himself. Max looked like he was disappointed. He did all that bulking to welterweight. I'm assuming everyone there wanted a refund. This was worse than Cyril Gone Aspinall, man. Because that was at least a foul, and it was starting. This one was done in the first 5 seconds of Connor doing some Nate Diaz type shit, or maybe it was Nick, whichever one threw that wheel kick in the first. Um, I was in person for 323 Pantoja Van. That one hurt a lot. I think that would hurt more than this one for me because it was a title fight and I was in person, but it's just crazy that this happened, man. Really unfortunate for everyone involved. I'd give him a refund. Max Holloway gets it done. McGregor wastes everyone's time, breaks everyone's heart as usual. I don't know why people still care about him so much, man. He's been done. I wasn't that excited for this. I think McGregor should have had like a 3-round fight against somebody, a bit of a tune-up. Just really unfortunate. I do feel bad for McGregor, and I feel bad for his fans and everyone involved. He brought out the casuals. Don't get me wrong. That made me very angry. The McGregor casuals talking about, somebody said if you're a real fan, you want Conor to win. That's an insane take. Just because, we have footage of Max killing Justin Gaethje, putting that man on a T-shirt. Can you imagine if McGregor won tonight and won in round 1 KO? I don't know. This was really bad. This was This is the biggest disappointment I've seen on a card in a hot minute. I'm not gonna lie. This might have been worse than Aspinall gone. Um, Conor McGregor. Chandler's going up to welterweight. McGregor waits for his knee to be fixed or whatever. I just yelled. It's 10 p.m. and I'm in a quiet neighborhood, and I'm right. There's a big window next to me. I think it's closed. Yeah, give Chandler McGregor. I think it's finally time to make this fight. Chandler might win. I'm gonna keep it so real. This might be a Chandler dub. Just crazy, man. What a fight night or fight night. Might have been should have been a fight night. Honestly, what a card though. Really good card all around. A lot of finishes. I did really well. 12 and 2. I'm happy with that performance. Loner could have won. Kind of dropped the bag. BSD, one of the worst performances I've ever seen out of a fighter. Really good card. Uh, Next week's card also pretty good. I'll get my predictions for that out by hopefully Wednesday. But that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. If you made it this far, thank you. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment for some engagement bait if you don't mind. And I'll see you guys in the next one.